glasses. Because that glare is crazy. Cuzzy. Happy Sunday. It is good to see you, always. And you know I love you. Turn this off. Turn it down. That looks crazy. I ain't gonna do the glasses. I haven't been asleep, man. Keep it chill. Keep it chill. Tone, what up? What you doing up? Alright, man. Look, man, I've been up all day. I'm super wired. I've been in the studio, been getting these songs together for next year, been on. Man, and I missed yesterday. I ain't gonna say I missed yesterday, but I was gonna do it, but then I slept until like 3 o'clock. So, but yeah, so we on day 24, chapter 24. Happy Sunday, man. I hope all y'all is doing good, doing well out there. Like, man, it's crazy. I literally ain't been asleep since. Okay, what time did I go to bed yesterday? I don't know. I slept till about 3 o'clock. But anyway, so today we in Proverbs 24. And we in a different segment. We on instruction and the warning signs. You know what I'm saying? That's what we gonna get out of reading this. So, yeah, I'm gonna get to it, man, because I don't want to be super long. We got, how many scriptures we got? I ain't got that many scriptures. We got 34 scriptures. And look, like I said, this chapter and these verses is basically like just instructions and like so when I say like warnings, like things to look out for. That's what the warning part is. All right. So, chapter 24, verse 1. I got some water. Ain't got no water, man. Struggle real. Okay. Let's get it. Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them. Boom. That's an instruction. For their minds devise violence, and their lips talk of trouble. That's a warning. So the instruction is don't be envious of evil men or don't have a desire to be with them. And the warning is that their minds devise violence and their lips talk of trouble. So it's only going to just lead to just bad stuff. Verse 3, by wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. And by knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. So that's like, you know, just think about your building a house, building your life, you know what I'm saying, building your foundation, building your career, building your relationships, whatever it is that you building. Wisdom is what is the structure. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom is what all the building blocks is. So your foundation being built on Christ, being built on God, then that will make your house secure. It'll make your knowledge, your behavior, your conduct, you feel me? It'll make it secure. Then it says by understanding it is established. So we've already been reading that wisdom will establish you. You know what I'm saying? These aren't prescription, but they pretty dope though. Yeah, I like them. This is a different sauce for the day, different sauce for reading the day. And then it says, and by knowledge the rooms are filled. So even if you're thinking about if you think about the idea and example of like building a house, you know what I'm saying? Like each room and the idea of the room, and like say when you decorating it, you know what I'm saying? Like you decorate your house with certain stuff. So you decorate your life with wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You know, all those things is what fills the different different parts of your life, how you carry yourself and all that good stuff. And then it says the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. So like your body, your body is a temple, right? Your body is like a house. So you want to fill it with knowledge, wisdom, and good things, and then your room will be filled, or your lifestyle, or what you speak, how you say it, how you respond, all that stuff, it'll be filled with precious and pleasant riches, things that aren't tangible. These are things that nobody can take away. It can't be destroyed, none of that stuff. All right. So verse 5 says, a wise man is strong, and a man of knowledge increases power. For by wise guidance you will wage war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. So this goes all to say that, having wisdom makes you stronger. And when you foolish, you weaker. You know what I'm saying? The more knowledge you have, the more power you actually have. The more you know stuff, the more you're able to make wise decisions, make good choices, not fall into traps and pitfalls and set yourself back. You feel me? Verse 6, for by wise guidance you will wage war, and in abundance of counselors there is victory. So when you constantly surround yourself around people who are positive, who are ambitious, who are driven, motivated, they only speak life. When you in an abundance of counselors, then any type of wars that you might wage, and I mean in a good way, you'll have good sound discretion. And when I say wage war, I'm just really saying like make decisions, whichever route you need to take, or how you need to go about the conduct of your life, what it is you want to do. You dig? All right, verse 7 says, wisdom is too exalted for a fool. It means it's just too great. Wisdom is too great for a foolish person. Like it's so above their head that they won't even understand it at all. All right, so wisdom is too exalted for a fool. Like a fool can never even come up to the level of having wisdom because he's too foolish. It's bound in his heart too much. He does not open his mouth in the gate. One who plans to do evil, men will call a schemer. We call him a finesser. You know what I'm saying? A backbiter. We call him the one who got the ingredients for the tea. They make the tea, and then they pour the tea, and they spill the tea, and they drink the tea. You know what I'm saying? So people who plan to hurt people, do people wrong, manipulate, connive, like we got to be on the lookout for them, and we call them finessers, schemers, scammers, the ops, all that. So wisdom will give us that vision. We can see an op when you point them out, you know what I'm saying? Because some ops is real sneaky, real sly, real smooth. Certain dudes, they got that mouthpiece. Certain females, they know how to finesse, finagle, and we got to be on the lookout for that. We got to be for real. And sometimes our own eyes and visions won't see it. We need wisdom. We need God's word. We need the Holy Spirit to help us. Verse 9 says the devising of folly is sin. So basically, like the planning of foolishness is sin. Like even if you just like people that just plan to do something wrong or plan to figure out a way to get over, like it leads to sin is what it can do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we just want to for real avoid, man. Just want to avoid sin, because wisdom will let you be able to discern the difference between what's sin and what's not sin, what's good, what's evil, you know what I'm saying, what's righteous, what's unrighteous. And if we don't know the difference between right and wrong, we definitely don't know the difference between like what's considered sin and stuff that keep us enslaved and, in bondage. Verse 10 says, if you are slack in the day of distress, your strength is limited. So basically, like if you are slack, meaning that when pressure comes, when trials come, when tribulation come, and bad days come, if you slack, meaning that like if you not mentally prepared, if you have not been strengthened through some of the things that you've already been through before, and remember those things and build up on them, that when something come back around, if you deficient in any of those areas, like where you have a positive mindset, positive thinking, when problems come your way, the first thing that you're supposed to think about is what good is going to come out of it. So it's saying if you slack in the day of distress, your strength will be limited, or your strength is limited. So that means that when that day come, or when that tribulation come, you're supposed to count it all joy. But if you don't know that, your strength gonna be limited. So then it's gonna be more than you can bear, and then you're gonna be reaching for other stuff to try to, help you out, or you might succumb to drinking or smoking or just wilding, whatever it is, to kind of help you, what you think and helping you get through it. But it's really because your strength is limited. Verse 11 says, deliver those who are being taken away to death, and those who are staggering to slaughter, oh, hold them back. If you say, see, we did not know this, does he not consider it who weighs the hearts? What does that mean? God is the one who knows the truth about the motives of the heart and the excuses for failing to do what is right. All right, so that's what that means. So when it says, if you say, see, we did not know this, and what that's saying is like, man, nobody is going to be without excuse in whatever it is you do, whatever decisions you make and the consequences that come. Like, you won't be able to say like, dang, I didn't know that this was going to happen. Or if you didn't know, that means you like super naive and super like gullible, really like foolish. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if a person hit a lick or something, or rob a bank, and then they get caught and they be like, I didn't know that I would do time for, or being an accomplice to something. You know what I'm saying? You be like, I didn't know that was going to happen. Like, you ain't going to be without excuse. So God knows your heart and what decisions you making and doing and the motive behind them. All right. So it continues. It says, does he not consider it who weighs the hearts? And does he not know it who keeps your soul? So basically it's saying like God knows everything about you and knows everything that you try to hide or not, or that you try to keep from being exposed. And it says, and will he not render to man according to his works? So basically, like, we going to get judged off our works. We going to get judged off of what we did and didn't do. It just goes to one of those things like, man, let's always just try to do better instead of like knowing better. But I mean, you want to know better, but you always want to do better. You know what I'm saying? Do better than what you think you know. Verse 13 says, my son, eat honey, for it is good. Yes, the honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. And this is not a command, basically, like to eat honey. Like, don't think of it literally, but think of it figuratively. Meaning that wisdom, knowledge, understanding God's word, appropriately applying, being a hearer of the word. So it's saying when we ingest this, like when we take this word and use it, and try to live it as best we can, then it's like sweet honey. It's like, just think of something delicious that you eat or something pleasurable. That's what it equates to. And then it says in verse 14, know that wisdom is thus for your soul. So we need wisdom for our soul. If you find it, then there will be a future and your hope will not be cut off. So the more wisdom we got, remember, that's one of the promises that God gave us. Wisdom gives life. It leads to more life. Verse 15, do not lie in wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. And remember, y'all, we read this is instructions. These are instructions and warnings. So that's the whole idea to remember about some of these verses. Like, it's giving us instructions on what to do, what not to do. And you just got to look at the words and make them match today's time. All right. Do not lie in wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Do not destroy his resting place. For a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked will stumble in time of calamity. So if you live in righteous and you might fall, but best believe you're going to always get up. You never, one thing about getting knocked down is that you don't got to stay down. So a righteous man, may fall 7 times and will rise again, but the wicked, the one without wisdom, the one who devises evil schemes, they're going to stumble in time of calamity, meaning that when it really counts to get up, they going to fall. They're not going to know how to bounce back from calamity. But look, it says, do not rejoice when your enemy falls. So don't be happy when somebody that you don't like comes up on bad fortune. Don't be happy about it. Don't be, excited about another person's downfall that you might be bickering with, or somebody wronged you. Don't be happy about that. Where am I at? Yeah, and then it says, okay, so do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles. Or, that's instruction, here's a warning, or if the Lord will see it and be displeased, why did I don't even sound right this morning? Displeased. That's why, because I'm not saying it right. Displeased. I'm saying it too fast. All right. So listen, y'all, do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, or the Lord will see it and be displeased. That just sounds weird. And turn his anger away from him, meaning that the Lord will turn his anger away from who you happy about falling, and he'll bring it up on you because you happy about what's going on, or that somebody else is stumbling. Verse 19, another instruction. Do not fret because of evildoers, or be envious of the wicked, for there will be no future for the evil man. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. So we don't worry about people who are doing whatever, and it's the wrong way they doing it, and you know that is wrong, and they getting it, and it looks like they winning, and they just not even living the way that you disciplining yourself to live. Don't be envious. It says do not fret because of evildoers. That means, like, do not be scared, do not be afraid, do not worry, none of that, because the warning is there will be no future for the evil man, and the lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king. Do not associate with those who are given to change. Meaning loyalty. Don't associate with people who ain't loyal, who bouncing, up and down, and on this side, then one day on that side. Like, don't roll with that pack. Because then it says, for their calamity will rise suddenly. So you'll be an accomplice in receiving the consequences of another. You know what I'm saying? So don't disassociate from those type of people, because calamity is coming for that person. And then it says, and who knows the ruin that comes from both of them. These also are sayings of the wise. Instruction. To show partiality in judgment is not good. He who says to the wicked, you are righteous, people will curse him, nations will abhor him. So what it's saying is, like, people that say good is evil and evil is good. Or showing partiality in judgment, meaning like you show favor to a person who did something wrong, or did something wrong to another person, and you show partiality, which is like you show favor to them, or you like kind of make them feel good about what it is that they did that wronged somebody else. So in judgment, it's wrong to show partiality. And then for a person who is wicked to say you are righteous, that means that people will curse him and nations will abhor him. You dig? Verse 25 says, but to those who rebuke the wicked will be delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. So when it says to rebuke the wicked, my God, what's up, Brody? Good morning, G. Bless you, dog. Appreciate you tapping in. My God, Shannon in the building. But to those who rebuke the wicked will be delight. Meaning, when it says rebuke, it means to like correct. Or if you see somebody like just doing something that is wrong, and you like bringing it to their attention in a respectful way, but also in a way that brings conviction. Like, dang, the way you moving ain't where it's at. So those who rebuke the wicked will be delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. Verse 26, he kisses the lips who gives a right answer. Prepare your work outside and make it ready for yourself in the field. Afterwards, then build your house. So that always is instruction. Always making sure you plan stuff out. Like, really plan it out. Look at all the pros, look at all the cons, look at not only the front end, but look at the back end. And then, what was that I was talking to my dad about earlier? Ask yourself these questions. Do I really need it? Can I really afford it? And then what is it really gonna cost me? Like, ask those three questions in every decision: people, relationships, jobs, businesses, contracts, you know what I'm saying, temptation. Like, ask yourself those questions in any of those circumstances. Do I really need this? Is this something that I really need? Is it something that I should really want? Can I really afford the consequences that's going to come from making maybe this decision? Can I really afford what it is that I'm, looking to do? And then what is it going to cost me in the end if I decide to go through with it? And you can ask yourself those three questions, and man, like, you'll have so much clarity, and it will make so much sense. Like, nah, that ain't the move at all. So that's why we need God's wisdom, man. We need his wisdom to give us that enlightenment to be able to just ask those questions. Because sometimes we don't ask those questions. We just jump right in. And then it says afterward, then build your house. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't build a house without knowing what tools you're going to use, or what tools to use. You know what I'm saying? We got to know what tools is going to be the best, what's going to be the most sturdiest, what's going to give us the greatest return on our investment. We got to quit wasting our resources and wasting our energy and wasting our life in bad investments. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got to stop majoring in minor things. All right, let's see where we at. Verse 28, do not be a witness against your neighbor without cause, and do not deceive with your lips. So avenging the evil done by one's neighbor by offering false witness. So that's like some people that like will lie on somebody else, like they friend or something like that. Especially when you don't have no cause against your friend, your neighbor, whoever. Do not say, thus shall I do to him as he has done to me. I will render to the man according to his work. So it's basically like, don't do evil for evil. You know what I'm saying? Don't pay back. Don't try to pay back for what somebody's done to you. Kingpin Pat, what's happening, my guy? Love you, cuz. God bless you, G. So the Lord, in the Bible says, the vengeance is mine, says the Lord. The Lord's going to repay. Whoever do you wrong, whoever, you don't have to do none of that. But it's so easy to fall into that trap. Like, nah, I got to get my get back. I got to get my fade back on that. So, that's where God's wisdom and his word will give you that reserve. It'll give you that clarity to be more peaceable and know that God is going to handle it. God is going to take care of it, because believe me, calamity is coming to the one who inflicts evil, like, period. The one who purposely does you wrong, the one who purposely sets you up, the one who purposely talks about you, the one who purposely comes against you. Trust me, calamity is coming for them. They gonna receive exactly what it is that they dishing out, and won't even be ready for it, won't even be prepared for it. And that's why that scripture in verse 10 is gonna come. It's gonna say, if you slack in the day of your distress, your strength is gonna be limited. They not gonna have no strength. And you ain't gotta laugh, you ain't gotta be happy, you ain't gotta be praying for their downfall. They already in their downfall. They already falling. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta wish nothing up on them, no bad up on them. You just keep praying for them, and just keep your focus on God, and let him take care of those who do you wrong, or, you know what I'm saying? Verse 30 says, I passed by the field of the sluggard. We talking about the lazy again, the procrastinator, the one who is indiligent. And the Proverbs always refers to that person as a sluggard. Like, when you think about that word, a sluggard, that's like a person, man, that's like, they so lazy that the food is right in front of them and they won't even reach their hand out to go get it. Like, that's how lazy they are. So it says, I passed by the fields of the sluggard and by the vineyard of the man lacking sense. And listen to this. It says, and behold, it was completely overgrown with thistles. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall was broken down. So what's that saying? Is like, man, we want when God, or when like, think you, when you got a, you know, at your job or at your assignment, and you got a project, and you know your supervisor walk by, and if you like a sluggard, man, you a underachiever, you a half doer, you only do 70% when you got the capability and the potential to do 90. That's you a sluggard. That means that your hand is slack. That means that you're not diligent. So when you got goals and you got ambitions, you can't be a sluggard about it. You got to work as if like God was literally right there, and not like it's big pressure, but in the fact that you want to give 110. You got to have a why. See, some of us don't have a why in what we do. We just kind of float around and just do it and just expecting results to just fall out the sky, when it's like, nah. So what happens is, if you're a sluggard, because it says I pass by the field, so it's like looking at like God passing by and seeing we all got our own type of fields that we sow and plant seeds in. And if we're not being diligent in that field, if we're not tending to that seed and constantly, we're working on our craft, like I'm still up and was already up to do this because I was in the studio, because that's a field. Music is a field, and I just keep planting seeds and keep cultivating it and keep watching it and keep tending to it, keep nurturing it, keep working on my craft, staying up. And eventually what's going to happen is fruit is going to come up out of it. But do you worry about the fruit? Like, no. Does the farmer worry about when he plant the seed? No, because he don't bury his seeds, he plants them. And when a farmer plants his seed, he know that the ground and the seed is going to do their job. His job is to just make sure that it does what it's supposed to do. He keeps nurturing it. A little water here, a little more dirt here. Make sure sun hit it here. Farmer don't worry about harvest. He know that it's a natural order. I sow a good seed, I'm going to reap fruit. So that's what we have to be in our lives, and with our making sure that we're not being lazy, even when it comes to the things of God. Like, you should always want to be the best for God, so there'd be a reflection, and then you be able to be an example and a light to other people. And then it'll help them and bring conviction on them. Be like, dang, let me tighten up. Let me quit talking to people like this. Let me quit popping off like that. But if you are a sluggard, now look what it says. It says, and behold, it was completely overgrown with thistles, like meaning just no fruit, just dry branches. And its surface was covered with nettles. I don't know what that is, so I ain't even gonna cap. Like, I know what nettles are. I know it's something that got something to do with just no type of productivity. And then it says, and its stone wall was broken down. So whatever foundation is built on laziness, it's going to break and crumble easily. Like, so think about your mind as like a stone wall. If you're not feeding your mind the word of God, if you're not feeding your mind knowledge, feeding your mind wisdom, gaining understanding, then your wall is going to be easily broke down every time by somebody stronger. Somebody can tell you that you suck, or tell you that you a loser, or tell you that you're not good enough, or tell you I didn't love you anyway. And then if you don't have the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding of what God says about you and what this word says about you, then those words from another person will destroy your wall and then break down your confidence. And then now you questioning your identity, and now you listening to every type of lie, you listening to every type of voice, and now you just in an entanglement. You feel me? An entanglement. So keep a strong hand, man. Because then it says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Then your poverty will come as a robber, and your want like an armed man. So what that's saying is, when you think about how, if you know you need to get up to get to the spot, like if I know I need to get up to get my workout on, or to get in the studio, or to, work on my, whatever it is for my acting and stuff. Like, if all I'm going to do is just, a little bit more sleep, hit the snooze button. You snoozing on your life. Hit a little more sleep, a little folding of my hands to just rest. You folding on your destiny. You sleeping on your vision. So that's why laziness for real is like a form of sin, because it means that you got all this opportunity, you got all these resources, you got all this mind that God has given you, and you just settling for nothing. You settling for the bare minimum. And then when you settle, you make God this much smaller. So now you praying to a God that really in your mind is this small. You never gonna break through. You're just gonna always just keep trying. You're just gonna keep breaking down. So laziness, procrastination kills. And if we don't hunger for God, hunger for righteousness, then we just make ourselves susceptible to any type of just deceit and deception. And we just fall into every type of trap that comes our way. And then you become a prisoner of your own depression. You become a prisoner of your own defeat. And then now you in the way of you, and you just destroying yourself. And then it's easy for somebody to just jump all on you. But that's why it's important to stay in this word, because this will strengthen you. This will give you joy. You know, God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but a power and a sound mind and love. God hasn't made you to be timid. God didn't wake you up this morning to be a loser, to be a failure. God didn't wake you up for you to stay in sin, to continue in death, continue to operate in ways that just negatively bring turmoil and distress to your life. No, God is your champion and you a champion. But if you don't say it, you don't believe it, you won't become it. You'll be exactly what someone else told you are. Let's go. Verse 35. That was it. Short and sweet and quick and to the spot. So the instruction on that and being lazy. So look what happens. It says your poverty will come as a robber. So think about it. Poverty will come and rob you, taking what you don't even have, stripping you of what you already don't even got. So think about it. If poverty robs you, like, bro, that's just crazy just to think about it. Like, and what it's saying is that think about how many people, like when I go to LA and I be like on Figueroa, which is near downtown LA, going right past the Staples Center, there's a whole community, dog. Like it's almost like the size of Dayton. That's how big it is. And it's just nothing but just people that that just deficient in so many areas. Like when you become homeless and living on the street, man, I mean that you are choosing so many options for that to become it. And then once you in it, like there was one time when I was down there and I just literally like pulled up. I had like some sandwiches and some water, and like, man, these people were so lost. They were so indebted to their addictions, to drugs, to the nature and the environment of homelessness, that like, man, you know, it was like 65, 70 degrees, maybe 80 degrees, passing through downtown LA. And then as soon as I get like right past Staples Center and get near Figueroa, it just started, the climate just got a little chilly, a little colder. And it was like, man, the Lord was just like showing me like, man, it's cold because there ain't no hope. People don't have no hope. Like they gone. Like hope is completely to where when you don't have no more hope, man, you settle on whatever. So in that position, man, it says, and then your want will be like an armed man, meaning that all you will constantly do is just want, and won't know how to get. All you just crave, and won't have nothing to satisfy it or fulfill it. So the biggest takeaway from Proverbs 24 with the instructions and the warnings is, the biggest thing, man, is don't be lazy. Don't be lazy on yourself. Don't be lazy in your pursuits, especially if it's to get a deeper, better, more fulfilling, intimate, genuine relationship with God. Like it's not nothing difficult. It's nothing hard at all. The hard thing is submitting and having the faith that you can do it, and that you believe it, and that you see it, and then you become it. You know what I'm saying? The hard part is separating yourself. That's where discipline come in. That's where determination come in. And then that growth, that constant relationship with God, then he starts to strip all that stuff off of you. You ain't got to go to rehab. You ain't got to see a psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to join a cult. Nah, man, like, the more that you hang out with Jesus, the more your mindset gets renewed to where then you won't want to do something. Like, when the Lord delivered me from porn and from fornicating and from masturbating and from drugs and from cussing and lying and stealing and cheating and manipulating and being disrespectful, like, the more I read my word, the more I prayed, the more I believed what God said and what I knew he did for me, what happens is all that stuff just starts to, like, just drop off. And next thing you know, you fully delivered, but now you got to stay in it. You got to stay exercising, literally staying in the word. You got to stay grinding, so that, because the thing is, the temptations, they never go away. The negativity never go away. The mindset, it never goes away. So what you gotta do, you gotta constantly stay sharp. It's like, think about a programmer and a hacker. A programmer is always constantly looking for antivirus software to continue to keep whatever protected. And then the hacker is constantly looking for viruses to be able to hack. You see what I'm saying? So when you walk in this life and the Lord's stripping that stuff away, but the hacker, he always trying to put the antivirus, you know what I'm saying? Always, not the antivirus, but the virus. So that's what happens. Like, man, the more I stay wrapped in Jesus, not only does he guard you in that wisdom, establish you, and he order your steps, but then you able to see evil right in front of you. You able to see, like, that's a trap. You know what I'm saying? You're able to see, like, no, she trying to play me for real, like, and use what I do or use for a setup. You see what I'm saying? Like, God will show you the traps. It's like the Matrix, like the little code. Like, he'll show you the code. You know what I'm saying? It's like really like taking a red pill. Like tapping in with Jesus is like taking a red pill. You see the world for what it really is. You see people for what they really are. But the biggest thing is that you get to see you for what you really are, who you really are. And the moment that the Lord breaks you down to build you up, then he'll expose you, like, this is who you really was. This is who you really used to be. And now you know that you can't deceive yourself no more, because you like, I don't live by the flesh. I'm not operating in the flesh. Flesh is dead. Yeah, it try to rise up every now and then, but it's dead. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say too that don't bury your seeds, y'all. Like, plant your seeds, because listen, when a person buries their seed in a field, they forget where they put it. They forget, and then when you bury your seed, whatever you speaking over your life, when you bury it, because you buried it, you don't even know where it's at. So you looking for a blessing, and you don't even know where you put the seed. But when you plant, that means you intentional. That means you diligent. That means you got faith behind it. That means you got confidence. And where does all this come from? And all this comes from just God giving you that. I like my glasses. They make me feel intelligent, even though I already am without them. But I just like the drip. Let me see. I'm getting distracted right now. I just hate that you can see the ring. It's kind of annoying. That's why I didn't have the light on today. But I love you guys, and I'm about to go to sleep because I've been up grinding, man. And keep me in your prayers. I'm praying for y'all. Everybody that tapped in this morning, God bless you. Love you. We day 24. I didn't jump on yesterday, but I knew I was going to get to it today. Remember, it's not always about how you start. Starting off the race good is awesome. But the race is going to have curves, hills. It's going to get hot, cold. You're going to be thirsty. But finish, man. Just finish. My success quote on my calendar, on my board up there. My success quote is by Mark Twain. And I want to share it with you guys. The first step to getting ahead. The first step to getting ahead is getting started. So whatever it is, whether it's a better relationship with God, starting your own business, getting free from the 9 to 5. I mean, I don't know, entrepreneur, nursing, going to school, speaking, public speaker, music, creative, whatever it is, just get started. Commit to the plan. Commit to the plan. Stay committed to the plan. And trust God in it the whole way. Because you're going to have some ups and downs with it. But I'm telling you, it's going to be established. Don't bury your seeds, y'all. Like, don't sleep on your vision. Stop hitting the snooze button on your life. Stop hitting the snooze button on your vision. Break the alarm, break the cycle, break the barriers, break the weak-mindedness, break the fear. When you go to sleep or when you wake up or when you resting, overwhelm yourself with optimism. That's what I do. I constantly overwhelm myself with optimism. You know what I'm saying? I just have a vibe, like I vibe with God, and I just vibe in life like, shoot, it's a wave. Like, so whatever gonna happen, whatever problems come, I don't focus on the problems. I look at the solutions out of the problems. And whatever problems I do have, I'll run from them and I'll run to God. And then when I run to Him, and on problems, they can't do nothing else after that but just be a problem. So, I'm sleepy, and that's why I'm kind of on some other right now. But, hey, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm just thankful, excited, grateful. 2021 about to be super turned, Lord's will. You know what I'm saying? Big things is on deck for you, what you got going. And, 2020, yeah, crazy year. Got a lot of bodies, different experience, but we trust God. And I ain't stupid. I ain't naive. I'm not one of these, weirdos who just like, yeah, everything is lily valley, kumbaya. Like, nah, I know, you feel me? Like, I know what time it is, but I also know who God is. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. Tomorrow, Lord's will, we back at it, 6:30. If not 6:30, then it's gonna be at some time during the day, because I feel like some people during the day need this too. So can't be selfish to them. You dig? All right, man. I love y'all. God bless.